Good evening, world. It is about 8:30, so I can make a quick 40-minute, 45-minute video. So today's your lucky day, guys. I'll be doing two videos today, and I will make a quick 45-minute video. 45-minute video. So because it's 8:30, I have enough time to make another video. And I can make a good 45-minute video. I hope you guys enjoy my video where I talked about Lord of the Rings and Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson. I'm pretty sure Mel Gibson and Peter Jackson, you guys enjoyed my video, obviously, as I'll be hiring one of those two directors to direct my movie, and they're going to be the executive producers of my what? They're going to be the executive producers of my what? Of my last Hope for Zane's movie project. And I'll pay Peter Jackson his $85 million, which is like 7 million in New Zealand money. That's good for him. And I'll pay Mel Gibson his 56 million bucks. Peter Jackson's big, hence why I'm paying him a lot of money, man. I'm paying him unheard amount of money, Peter Jackson. I'm paying him already. I trust me. When I hire Peter Jackson and I offer him that money, all the directors in Hollywood will be shocked. Because no directors in Hollywood makes that kind of money, man. Even the big directors like Christopher Nolan, Quentin Tarantino, they make probably like 20 million for their movies. Michael Bay probably makes 25, 30 million for his movies. You see what I'm saying? And, Ivan just offered Peter Jackson like $107 million. $107 million. It's a fat contract Peter Jackson signed, yeah, and he gets $2 million for the releases. Nice. So $2 million in Canadian money is what? Like $4 million, $4.5 million in New Zealand money. You know what I'm saying? $5 million in New Zealand money. And Peter Jackson's getting a nice check for the Hey Peter, every time I re-release, if I re-release a special edition or a new technology of 4K Blu-ray, you get your nice $2 million royalty check every time. So Peter Jackson's collecting nice royalties. Yeah. I signed a good deal. Ivan gave me a good offer, man. I'm getting like $2 million for the releases. I can easily give Peter Jackson more money for the releases, but I can easily give him 10, 5, $8 million for the release. But if you do that, he's ripping you off. As at $8 million for release, you're being too generous. Pay him a lot of money, but don't be stupid and give him like a $10 million for the release. No. He's not worth that, but he's worth a nice like $2 million bucks, which is like, I don't know, 5 million New Zealand money. He'll walk away with a nice like $2.76 million check in his bank for a release. Yeah, Peter, when I re-release a special edition, you can get your nice $2 million check in your bank, which is a nice paycheck, man, for a re-release. Yeah, I can even invite Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson over to watch. When the editors edit the special edition, you can have Peter Jackson come to Vancouver. You can watch post production of the special edition being released. You can have him watch if you want. I might make a documentary on that too. When I release a special edition, you can make a quick 2-hour documentary, and they film the people editing the special edition. Because chances are my Zanus movie will be probably 14 hours long. And I'm going to 13 hours long, maybe 13 and a half hours long. And I might condense it to 12 hours. I can release an extended edition, a special edition. Not a special edition, an extended edition. Because special edition means you have the documentary. But I told you, my documentary I'm going to release on my website. So I'll release a special edition, an extended edition of Zanus most likely. And I'll probably end up releasing a new technology of Blu-ray too. Because I told you, by the time I release Zanus, there's a good chance 8K Blu-ray will be what? Will be released by then. There's a good chance 8K Blu-ray will be released by then. You see what I'm saying? There's a good chance 8K Blu-ray will be released by then, by the end of the year. Hence why, yeah. And by 2030, DVD will be out of the market. There will be no more DVD. I'm making a prediction. In 10 years from now, there will be no DVD. There'll be no DVD. DVD will be out of the market. Just like in the early 2000s. Remember when you had VHS and DVD came out right in the early 2000s? DVD ended up taking out VHS. People barely bought VHS movies, and then DVD became popular in the early 2000s. Remember that? And VHS is now out of the market. Well, DVD is soon going to be out of the market too. Whereas Blu-ray and 4K Blu-ray will not be out of the market, as 4K Blu-ray and Blu-ray are popular. A lot of people love Blu-ray and 4K Blu-ray because you get an enhanced experience, a better experience than even online streaming. Whereas DVD is the same technology as online streaming. It's 1080p. Hence why I'm making a prediction. By the time I release Zanus, there will be no more DVD. Either that or around the Great Escape movie, there will be no more DVD around that time. In 2030, there will be no DVD, man. DVD will be out, and 4K Blu-ray and Blu-ray will be there because my company will popularize 4K Blu-ray. I guarantee you once I release Zayas only on 4K Blu-ray, all the Hollywood companies are gonna copy me. Okay, guys. After we film the movie, let's release our movies only on 4K Blu-ray and online streaming. They release on online streaming and 4K Blu-ray. They're gonna end up copying me and VJ. Yeah, they end up copying me and VJ. Yeah, Ivan's company is unique. He releases his movie only on 4K Blu-ray. You know what I'm saying? Something top notch. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Ivan's company's top notch. He releases his movie only on 4K Blu-ray. Yeah, man. That's how top notch my company will be, man. Yeah, man. And I can't wait to watch The Two Towers tonight. I'll watch it tonight. I'll watch The Two Towers tonight. And then tomorrow I'll probably watch, I don't know, Obi-Wan. I'll finish the 3 episodes of Obi-Wan. And yeah, but I'm not going to watch Return of the King because Return of the King makes me depressed and sad when I watch it. You see what I'm saying? It really, really pisses me off, Return of the King, for some reason. Really, Ivan? Yes. When I watched Return of the King, I remember when I watched it last year, early 2021, I remember I watched the whole Lord of the Rings series with my younger stepbrother. We did this marathon where I watched all 9 Star Wars movies. And we watched Lord of the Rings, and we would order like McDonald's on stuff, Uber Eats McDonald's on stuff. And like pizza and all that stuff and like subs. And I remember when I watched Return of the King, I was depressed and sad, man. The reason why I believe Return of the King is depressing and sad is because it's the journey ends. And even though it's a happy ending, it's sad because everyone goes into their own past, and Frodo goes into the Undying Lands with Gandalf. You see what I'm saying? It's sad, it's depressing. Theoden dies, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You get that scene when Frodo and them are in the mountains, are in the mountain, the Mount Doom. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, I can carry you. I wish I could marry Rosie. You know what I'm saying? Fucking sad. And it really and what really pisses me off is Aragorn taking the path of becoming king, man. I'm not kidding around. When Aragorn, don't hate me, Lord of the Rings fans. I guarantee you some of the Lord of the Rings fans know what I'm talking about. I know what you're talking. I know what you mean, man. Yeah, man. The moment Aragorn gives up the Ranger, I was so pissed off, man. Because I miss Aragorn as the Ranger traveling with Gimli and Legolas. He was badass, and now he takes the path of being king. Obviously, he takes that sword. Obviously, I'm like, oh man, I miss the Ranger Aragorn. Yeah, man, I miss the Ranger Aragorn. Yeah, man, I like the Ranger Aragorn better than the King Aragorn, in my opinion. Really, Ivan? Yes, I like the Ranger. I like the Ranger exiled Aragorn Strider better than the King Aragorn. It pissed me off for some reason. I don't know why. It pissed me off when in the movie when they had him when he took the sword. They will answer to the King of Gondor. And I'm saying they remake the sword, they reforge the sword, and Aragorn takes the Isildur's heir path obviously and becomes king obviously. That part pissed me off a little bit. I don't know why. It did, man. It really pissed me off. I guarantee some Lord of the Rings fans don't talk. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I missed the Ranger Aragorn. Yeah, you missed the Aragorn Ranger, obviously. Yeah, I told you, Return of the King is the worst of the 3 movies. I'm gonna keep saying that. I know a lot of people like Return of the King the best, but it's not the best in my opinion. The best is either Two Towers or Fellowship of the Ring. You can argue Fellowship of the Ring's better. You can also argue Two Towers is better. You see what I'm saying? Two Towers is a slower movie than Fellowship of the Ring. Fellowship of the Ring has better pacing than Two Towers. But Two Towers has the better story, in my opinion, than Fellowship of the Ring. You see what I'm saying? Two Towers has an amazing story with Frodo and Sam. They meet Gollum. You get Gollum's history. They want to go to the Black Gate. Gollum leads them. Gollum tells them there's another path. You know what I'm saying? It's an amazing story, Two Towers. I told you, when I first watched Two Towers, I thought it was very boring when I first watched it. But as I bought the special editions that my stepfather broke, obviously, the DVDs, and I watched all 3 movies, I grew to love Two Towers the most. If you just, I'm gonna ask all you fans, because most fans think Two Towers is the worst. I recommend you watch the 3 movies again. You know what I'm saying? Try to be unbiased. Watch the 3 movies again. Sit down and just binge the whole thing. And I'm telling you right now, when you watch the 3 movies, Two Towers is by far the best of the 3, in my opinion. And that's Peter Jackson's favorite movie too. I remember I saw in the documentary. Peter Jackson's like, yeah, Two Towers is the best of the 3 for me. And I think he thinks Return of the King is the worst. Peter Jackson, yes, Return of the King is the worst of the 3, man. Return of the King, there's something about that movie that pisses me off. It makes me sad and depressed, man. Yeah, man. And you fans, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. There's something about Return of the King that's so depressing and sad. I don't know, probably because the journey ends. Aragorn is no longer the ranger, kicking ass. You know what I'm saying? He's the what? He's now becoming king. You know what I'm saying? And Frodo leaves the Undying Lands. Everyone's going on their separate paths. You don't really get it, what happens to Legolas and Gimli, but they obviously go to their own kin, obviously. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I like Return of the King the least. It's the worst of the 3 movies, and the wars are all rushed. The wars are rushed in Return of the King, whereas Helm's Deep battle was not rushed. It's the best battle in the entire trilogy. I guarantee. I might ask Peter, hey Peter, what's your favorite Lord of the Rings? What's your best Lord of the Rings? I agree with you. I think Two Towers is the best. Yeah, Two Towers is the best of the 3, man. Yeah, I think Two Towers is the best. Fellowship is a close second, and Return of the King is the worst. Yeah, it's the worst of the 3, man. Because there's something about Return of the King that pisses me off, and it makes me feel sad and depressed, man. Because I don't know why. It's just probably because the journey ends, people die in it and all that stuff, and it just pisses me off. Some sections of, like that scene when Frodo tells Sam to go home, like that really pissed me off. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Sam just traveled all that way and you tell him to go home. You know what I'm saying? Like Sam's gonna go home without, you know, so what's he gonna eat? You know what I'm saying? That I thought that part was a little silly in Return of the King when Frodo told Sam to go home. Like, come on, man. Sam just journeyed with you weeks worth of journey. He's not gonna go back fucking home to the Shire with no food. You know what I'm saying? I thought that part was a little silly. It's not in the book, by the way. And that's why Return of the King really pisses me off sometimes. Some sections of the books. You know what I'm saying? The part when Frodo tells Sam to go home, he trusts Gollum over Sam, obviously. You know what I'm saying? He fights the spider, and then he gets what? He gets stabbed, obviously, by the spider's stinger, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And Sam rescues Frodo. He has some strength, obviously. And the moment they go to the mountains, they're all like weak because of the poisonous fumes. And you get that sad music, and we're almost crying. And it really was something about Return of the King that's very depressing and sad, man. You know, I see what you're saying. Yeah, man. Return of the King, there's something depressing. It makes me sad and it makes me depressed when I watch the ending too. Kind of pisses me off because Frodo goes to the Undying Lands. You know what I'm saying? You know, since Sam gets married, obviously he gets kids, and Frodo and them what? And Pippin and Merry are in the Shire, obviously. Aragorn is crowned King Gondor. They're all going their separate ways. You see what I'm saying? That's why it kind of pisses me off. Felt to Return of the King, because it's the worst of the 3 movies. Trust me, when you watch it, yeah, it's the worst. Yeah, it's the worst of the 3 movies. Most people like. I've done some research. Most fans like either Fellowship of the Ring the best or Return of the King the best. Whereas a lot of people think Two Towers is the worst because Two Towers has the slowest pacing. But trust me, I'm going to watch Two Towers again tonight. Two Towers is the best of the 3 movies, in my opinion. Even Peter Jackson thinks it's the best. He might have changed his mind, obviously, but even Peter Jackson, yeah, I like Two Towers the best. Yeah, Two Towers is the best of the 3 movies. Obviously. The only reason why I don't like Fellowship of the Ring better, because Fellowship of the Ring is very linear. It's only the 9. You don't really get to explore Middle Earth. You know what I'm saying? They're in Rivendell, and they go to Moria, and they go see the elves in the forest, obviously, and you know what I'm saying? And they what? And they travel through the river, and they fight the orcs in the end. It's an amazing movie, obviously, but it's very linear. It's just a 9. You don't really get to explore Middle Earth in that movie. Whereas Two Towers is when you get introduced to Gollum, the Men of Rohan, Eomer, Erwin, King Thed, and Gandalf is fucking Gandalf the White. He kicks ass. Whereas in the Fellowship of the Ring, he's Gandalf the Grey, yeah. And now he's Gandalf the White, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You get the story of Gollum. It's more interesting, in my opinion. But you can argue Fellowship of the Ring is better, but it's not, in my opinion. I think Two Towers is the best. Ivan, which of your three movies will be the best? I don't know. Something tells me either Volume 3 or Volume 2 will be the best in my movie arcs. But some people might like Volume 1 the best too, because Volume 1 has you get the life of Tactius the First. For the book, Volume 1 is the worst, but for the movie, Volume 1 could even be the best, perhaps. I highly doubt, though my guess is between Volume 2 or Volume 3 will be the best. Well, Volume 1 will be a masterpiece, because Volume 1 you have the prologue of Tactius the First, when Tactius is born, then you have young Tactius, his life behind the walls. And halfway through Volume 1, Tactius leaves the walls, and Tacitonius and Cassius and their 50 men go to look for him. And you have the scenes with Eretat, the land markings, and you have the battles. You have the scene when the wolves are approaching, and Tacitonius and Tactius and them are about to fight for Fool and his 25 wolves in the end of Volume 1. You're looking at amazing. But my guess is Volume 1 will most likely be the worst for the movies. But look, man, Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers has the what? Two Towers has the least action in the movie. Or Fellowship of the Ring. Fellowship of the Ring has the least action, and yet Fellowship of the Ring is better than Return of the King has a lot more action than Two Towers and Fellowship of the Ring, but it's the worst of the three. So just because your movie has more action doesn't necessarily mean your movie's better. You see what I'm saying here? You see what I'm saying here? But in my opinion, it's going to be either Volume 2 or Volume 3 that are going to be the best. There's some people who might like Volume 2 better, the drama and all the politics, obviously, but Volume 2 also has action too. You have the battle sequence with Tacitonius, Cassius, 50 men, and Fool and his 25 wolves. You have some action in Volume 2, obviously, but Volume 2 has the least action of the three volumes. Volume 1 has what? Volume 1, at least you have the war and the prologue. Yeah, Volume 2 has the least action. It's kind of like Two Towers. Two Towers has the least action of the three, you can argue. But yeah, in my opinion, it's the best of three. But in my opinion, I think Volume 3 will be the best, man. Because that's when you get the unexpected plot twists, the big climaxes, the big adventure. There's adventure. All three volumes have adventure, action, obviously. But Volume 3, you have the big adventure, and you have the big climaxes. Whereas Volume 2, you don't really have any big climaxes. You have climaxes, but you don't have big climaxes like Volume 3. Volume 3, you have big climaxes, and you have more action, obviously. You have the big war in the end, the battle sequences in the caverns. You know what I'm saying? Like Moria, yeah. And you have what? Tactius is more mature. He grows his beard. Now, so I don't want to tell you, Ivan, why does he grow his beard? I don't want to spoil the story for you. You'll see what I mean when you read the book. And that's why I like Volume 3 the best. I might ask Peter Jackson, hey, Peter... Or Mel Gibson, hey Peter, when you read my book, what volume do you like the best? I don't know, Ivan. I kind of like Volume 2 the best, but I kind of like Volume 3 better too, Ivan. They're both really good, yeah. Yeah, Volume 1's probably the worst of your book, Ivan. I think Volume 2 or Volume 3 are the best. People are either going to like Volume 2 the best or Volume 3 the best for my book. Or for the movie, people might even like Volume 1 the best. For the movie, because I'm picturing the story in my mind. I mean, yeah, Volume 1 perhaps can even be the best of the three volumes. For my movie, you see what I'm saying here? Yeah, Volume 3 has the most action, but Volume 1 is you have Tactius the First's life, then you have young Tactius as a kid, and he leaves the walls. It's interesting. But some people might like... I'm going to make a prediction. Most people are going to like Volume 2 or Volume 3 the best for the movies and the books. For the books, you're going to like either Volume 2 the best or Volume 3 the best, as Volume 1's the worst, obviously. There's some people who might like Volume 1 better, but it's not... If I read my book many times now, Volume 1 is by far the worst of the three volumes. People are either going to like Volume 2 the best or Volume 3 the best. Ivan, which volume is better? I think Volume 3 is better, but you can argue Volume 2 is also better too. Because Volume 2, you can argue it kept you a bit more hooked. But Volume 3 has the bigger climaxes and all that stuff, and the action sequences. And so that's why you can argue it's better than Volume 3. That's why it's tough. It's a tough choice, you know what I'm saying? End the video here in 25 minutes here, guys. Yeah. I think Volume 3 will be the best for the movie, man. Because that's when Tactius meets Ephesus. You have the Safians crossing the cursed Western Great Mountains. Big mosquitoes biting them. Tactius finds out who he is, his destiny. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the best in my opinion. You have the big war, epic war in the end. You have the Walking with the Ancestor chapter. Volume 3, I think, will take the crown as the best of the three. But there's some people who might like Volume 1 better, obviously. There's some people who might like Volume 2 better. You know what I'm saying? For the movies. Yeah, I like Volume 1 better, Ivan. I love the whole scene with young Tactius and Tactius first when he's born. I love that, Ivan. Some people might love Volume 1 better for the movie. Some people might like Volume 2 better. Some people might like Volume 3 better. I'm probably going to either like Volume 3 better or Volume 2 better for the movie. But most likely Volume 3 I like the best. Because that's when Tactius is mature, man. He matures and all stuff. He grows in wisdom and knowledge. He's more mature. Whereas in the other volumes, Tactius is a douche. He's an arrogant, cocky man. He looks down on Southerners. Was Volume 3, he's mature. He's more mature. Like, you know how Jesus was you got that maturity look in Passion of Christ? You know what I'm saying? He was determined, bold, and brave, and he knew his destiny. Yeah. Think of something like that for me in Volume 3. Yeah, that's why I like Volume 3 the best. But I told you, Volume 1 might be better than Volume 3. You never know, obviously. But I think Volume 3 will be the best. I want Volume 3 to be the best because Volume 3 is where you get the big climaxes. You have the big battle scene in the ancient Gilead city like Moria. You also have the big war in the end. You have the Walking with the Ancestors chapter at the end of the movie. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You look at an amazing story, man. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm gonna pour the most money towards the. I'm gonna tell the special effects people, look, man, put a lot of money towards the war in Volume 1 with Tactius the First and Eretat, obviously. You know what I'm saying? The battle sequence with Tacitonius, Cassius, or 50 men and Fool and 25 wolves. But I want you putting the most money towards the war in the end and the battle scenes in the ancient Gilead city. Pour a lot of money towards those scenes. Yeah, I have no worry about. Yeah, pour like tens of millions towards those scenes. That way you get like a good epic battle, especially the end war. I want a war. I'm gonna tell Peter Jackson, Peter. I want a war better than even Helm's Deep, better than even what you got for Eternity. Yeah, don't worry about it. You're looking at a better war than my movie. You poured so much more money towards my movie. Yeah, I want a war better than even what you got for Helm's Deep. You see what I'm saying? You're looking at an epic war. You see what I'm saying? You know how Helm's Deep, the war looked very natural? Yes, I want the war to look natural like that. I don't want it looking, computer like the fucking Hobbit. The Hobbit war was, Battle of Fire was bad, man. Fucking, the world looked fake and computery. Looked amazing, but looked very, very, everything looked too bright and computery, man. It was too computery, that movie. Because they relied heavily on full CGI. Hence why I'm not a fan of full CGI. I'm going to tell Peter Jackson, Peter, I don't want full CGI wolves and bats. I don't want that. Stay away from that. I want what? I want the wolves and bats to wear a mask, a prosthetic mask, like that devil being an animal. That way they look natural, but they look scary because I poured my money towards special effects and the 3D print mask. I'm gonna get the best. I'm gonna rent the best machinery for creating masks in the world, man. Hey Peter, let's make the calls for the best machines for creating masks in the world. And I'll rent to get like 4 or 5 of them. That way we can print thousands of masks for the extras and all the wolves and the bats. If you want to be able to print to Spirit Production, guys, I'm going to have to rent a bunch of machines. That way we Spirit Production, you can, how much masks you want to print on? I don't know, print tens of thousands of masks for the extras. Hey, can you guys pull off printing, I don't know, 40,000 masks? Yeah, we can pull it off. As long as you have a lot of machines, you can easily pull it off. Hey, look, man, I want to be able to print tens of thousands of masks. How much machinery? How much can this machinery do in a day? Oh, this machinery can print a good. This machine can print a good like 800 masks in a day, Ivan. 500 masks in a day. Okay. We can pull it off, making what? Tens of thousands of masks for the extras. You see what I'm saying? For the extras, obviously. It looks top notch. And I rent the best like machinery for the mask. And they print the best mask of Eretat. Okay, I want you printing the mask based off the console arts for Eretat, Ephesus, Faful, Morale, Bass, Mask, Durius, the Blacksmith, Bull, the Pit Watcher, the Wolves, the Bats. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Cursed Devil Answers of the South, the Holy Answers of the North. Yeah, those are some top notch. You see what I'm saying? I'll end this video here in 20 minutes? I'll make a 45-minute video here, guys. So I'll end this part in 5 minutes. And I'll make another 15-minute video on part 2. And I'll end the video here, guys. Hence why I believe Zanus will beat out Lord of the Rings. It will beat it out. It'll beat out Lord of the Rings. Because I'm acting in it, man. I'm acting in the movie. It will be very, very close, man. Zanus and Lord of the Rings are going to be very, very tight, man. They're going to be close. Because I watched Fellowship of the Ring yesterday, and I'm like, holy shit, this is a masterpiece. Yeah, man. I watched Fellowship of the Ring, and I was so hooked watching it yesterday. I'm like, holy shit, this movie's sick. This movie is a masterpiece. Yeah, the movie's a masterpiece, obviously. The movie is a fucking masterpiece. It's a masterpiece, obviously. But I'm like, yeah, even though Fellowship of the Ring is a masterpiece, I can't see it beating Zanus. Like, I'm picturing the story in my mind. You have Tactius. You get the sunset, obviously. You get this warning. This movie's an adaptation based off the book written by Ivan O'Mara. You know what I'm saying? Warning: this movie's not for children. You get. For my prologue, I'm not gonna have a narrator like they did for Lord of the Rings. No, I'm gonna actually tell the story of Tactius first. Hence why Zanus will beat out Lord of the Rings. Because Lord of the Rings, for the prologue, they had Galadriel narrate like a 7-minute prologue, obviously. Whereas me, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually tell the whole story of Tactius First's life. The first 15 minutes of I can easily do that for the prologue. If you do that, the movie won't be as good. I don't want to do that where you explain Tactius First's life for a good like 10 minutes, and you cut to young Tactius. No, tell the story of Tactius the First. You know what I'm saying? You get the sunset. I already know how one movie to start. You get the sunset, obviously. You get the title, The Last Hope for Zanus, Volume 1. Or I might have a title, right? And you get the sunset, obviously, the sunset in the north. You know what I'm saying? And Queen Sarah's about to give birth, obviously. I'm paraphrasing here. And she's like, where's Tactius? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he mentioned something about getting some fresh air, enjoying the scenery. Yeah, the walls. He must be at the walls and all that stuff. And then Labia tells Cassius, we'll go get him. You know what I'm saying? He can't miss his son's birth. I'm paraphrasing here. You know what I'm saying? And you transfers to Tactius' feet walking up the stairs, and the guard, transfers to his feet, shows his feet walking up the stairs. Then you see the back of his head, and you see all the what? You see some of the guards that are guarding the walls. Obviously, they're bowing down their heads. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Your Highness. I'm saying, and you transfer to a scene. You see Cassius and Miramis riding on the horse to the wall. They're like, my Lord Tactius, my king. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, your son, what is it? No, your son's about to give birth. You don't want to miss it, you know what I'm saying? And then Tactius looks up. You barely see the south visible, obviously. You see a demonic face appearing for a quick second. And you see another face appearing in the north staring at Tactius and nods his head very, very quickly. And Tactius like, it's time. Ivan, what do you mean it's time? I don't want to spoil stuff for you, too. I mean, all I'm going to say is Tactius' generation is the lucky generation. Hence why we're looking at a masterpiece. Even Peter Jackson will be like, yeah, Peter Jackson won't tell me my movie will be better, my book will be better, my movie will be better than his movie. But Peter Jackson's not stupid. He knows, if Ivan's book's a fucking masterpiece. If you turn this kind of book into a movie, you're looking at like something even better than My Lord of the Rings. Yeah, man, a better story than My Lord of the Rings. Yes, Lord of the Rings has a better world building, but Zanus has a richer story. And don't forget, I poured $980 million towards the movie, better technology for world building, action sequences, and the Horror of the Wolves. And I am acting in the movie, guys. Ivan O'Mara is acting in the movie. That's why the movie will be better. But it'll be close, man. Lord of the Rings and Zanus will be tight, man. It'll be close. But Zanus will take the edge, because I'm acting in it. I'm going to make a prediction. Lord of the Rings is so good that some people might even like Lord of the Rings even better than Zanus. I'm making a prediction. There's some people, some of you Lord of the Rings fans might even like Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings better than Zanus. Peter Jackson might even like his Lord of the Rings